Hey guys, welcome back to Restoration Revelations. This is gonna be a good week. We have the Cayman Island Camaro that's actually gonna be shipping through Miami all the way to Cayman Islands. It actually is leaving with the boiler fuel injection. Also, we are continuing to work on my Chevelles. This is the prototype car right behind me, and we are in the process of making a easier, softer, more gentle, a little bit more luxury, a little bit less race car by increasing the spring rate. I'll explain that as we go. Don't forget the 69 John Wick Mustang that we're working on. That is a full body off Coyote motor. And we're gonna actually end with making a meal together. You guys ever watch John Pierre? Hello friends, we're cooking with onion. So I make lunch for all the boys this week. It's gonna be a good week. Come on, let's get it started. Man, it's just a cool car. Wait till you see what I'm gonna do to it. It ain't even fast yet, baby. So I was driving this car and I'm like, man, it seems a little touchy. And you know, I'm doing two things with this car right now. I'm trying to work on, I ordered new springs for the front. I'll put them in next week. And it's Saturday. Got a few extra minutes on my time. So I figured I'm just gonna go ahead and put in the bigger steering wheel, and I'm gonna tell you why. So this is the OEM steering wheel that's in here now. This is the one I was trying, little racy one. Remember the little chain steering wheels people used to have? Anyways, the rack and pinion is about 2.5 turns lock to lock. And what that means is the wheel will turn around, there's one, and there's 2.5, right? So it turns only that much, and your steering goes all the way from one side, full right to full left, lock to lock. When you set up your suspension on any hot rod car, you gotta make sure that your actual wheels can turn all the way. Otherwise, you're gonna be scraping, bumping, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, challenge of that is this being a smaller steering wheel, a smaller move makes for a more radical turn. Does that make sense? So the smaller this little move is on the steering wheel versus a bigger steering wheel, it's gonna basically make it a longer lever. So instead of turning it a little bit and having a big reaction, I'm gonna turn it a little bit farther and have the same reaction, but the wheel will actually feel a little bit more, what's what I'm looking for? Less racy? Maybe just a little bit more of a luxury feel in it. I'll let you know. But that's what I'm doing on this Saturday. Swap this wheel out for the other Chevelle wheel that actually came with the car. It's kind of cool. All right, we'll see how it goes. This car is driving me crazy. Actually, what we did is it has a rack and pinion steering. We did a lot of work around that to figure out how do we want the car to drive. Question is, when you want to be purposeful in building a car, how do you want it to drive? Do you want it to be a race car? Or do you want to have a little bit of a luxury feel to it? So the conversion of the rack and pinion steering in the front of this car required us to make some modifications. First things first, steering wheel. Actually, I went back to the OEM size steering wheel and I took it for a test drive. I absolutely love it. The only thing now is the suspension is a little bit too stiff up front. So we're using 450-pound spring rate springs in the front of it, and to get the ride height I wanted to with a 2-inch drop spindle, I actually had to crank the bottom of the adjusters up to get to the ride height I want, because I actually think that the springs of 450 spring rate is actually too weak. Now we've preloaded the springs, which I think is making it too stiff. So it's the kit that they sell from QA1. We buy from them all the time. It comes for this car, but after looking at it, we scaled the car and it's about 3,800 pounds all in at this point in time. So now you're talking about 2,000 pounds on the front of it with a 450 pound spring rate. Get it? Get where I'm going? So 600 looks about the heaviest that I can get from QA1. So we're just going all the way to the top. My hope is that by putting a heavier spring rate in there, I'll be able to put less preload. If you preload a spring, right, it doesn't have the same compression ratio anymore. So 450 pounds per 1 inch of travel. That's only the initial inch, unless you have a progressive spring rate, and I'm not going there right now. So a spring rate, as you preload it, is gonna get harder and harder and harder as you compress it, and eventually you'll get coil binding and some of that kind of stuff. But the idea of going to a heavier spring to get a softer ride is exactly where we're going. And I'll tell you how that goes once we get this bad boy back together. Anyways, the Chevelle is this one is about done. I'm just fine tuning it to drive and ride exactly how I love, man. This little wheel, So we'll get that wrapped up. I don't know if it's right for sure, but we'll find out. Want to go for a burn?
I will. I gotta get solid on there. Not sure.
We'll see.
Oh yeah, it's already
I can feel it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, every one of these little cracks in the road would be doing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Just banging.
Just you knock.
Yeah.
Knock.
I think we're about done with the front end. So we'll be looking at the back end a little bit to see if we can do. I feel about 70% of the way fine tuning this bad boy. It's good. One thing I did notice with the multiple adjustments on the shocks, the compression, the rebound, I showed you that in another episode. So they're the dual adjustable 2A1s, right? One thing I found was when I had the other springs in there, no matter where I adjusted it, it didn't matter. But going to that heavier spring, now I can start fine tuning the adjusters about the compression and the rebound. We'll see how this does. It'll do better. Still gonna do the back end, but if you look at the reveal, it's like from where the rim to here is and where it's at in the back, this thing's sitting almost about dead flat. That's kind of what I was looking for. Good luck. Man, she's pretty. Why don't we run back to the shop and I will show you guys where we're at with the Mustang. Come on, let's shop at that John Wick build. A lot of work. Customer comes in all the time, he's like, it's going backwards. So I'm like, yeah, backwards is forwards. Come on, let's go. Really does take a lot of guys. It takes a village, I say, to actually build some of these cars. You know that this John Wick style Mustang will probably end up with over 1,400 to 1,500 hours in the total build. Where it's at right now is we already built it. Everything was in there, the wiring, the engine, the transmission, wheels, rims, ready to roll. Actually, we had it running and driving. And then you blow that bad boy all apart. It ends up in the booth, right? Because it has to be absolutely clean and perfect. So you see all the detail it takes, and we got that puppy ready to go. It's clean, it's sweet, it's straight. And if you do the work beforehand with a little bit of extra love, you can actually have those alignment of those panels set, ready, done before you even start doing the body work. Oh yeah. You see that Detroit Speed front end is going into that bad boy. The 9 inches on it, the rear tires are on it. We got to rebuild the whole car so we can start doing the body work. Now, here's the trick. In any car, you want to have your engine, your transmission, and you want to have the body on the ground, on the tires that you're going to be using before you start aligning, final alignment of your panels, and you do all your blocking, you do all your final work in that situation, because this car's move. It's a unibody car. A lot of guys will try and do it on a rack or on a jig, and then they put the suspension in it, the tires on it, like, nothing lines up. Why don't it line up? Well, duh. You know, you get it all preloaded, pre-weighted, get it moving around, and then you do that final work where you get it ready for paint. Speaking of final work, I think I'm gonna go have some lunch. I gotta get to making lunch for everybody. See ya. Hello, friends. I love butter. Butter makes everything better. Onion. You ever cut your onion? You guys ever see that guy? What's his name? John Pierre. Anyways, today we're going to be cooking. We're having cook-off. So we got 15 of us that work here, and I got a budget of $100. So I made lunch for everybody today, and it's Friday. So I invited everybody to Harry's supper or Harry's lunch. Anyways, we're going to have meatball bombers today. I prepped it all last night, and right now I will be prepping the garlic and the butter so the place smells, what's the word? Aromatic. So make the place smell good. You eat with your eyes, but man, when you smell good food cooking. So this goes on the bread before the bombers go together. And this will be like a nice slurry of butter and a garlic.
Do I get a sous chef when it's my turn?
No, you do not.
I have to just go rogue.
Hey, well, you got to do what I got to do for a living. You don't got time. You will have the luxury of, I get to just cook. Harry's paying me to cook and feed the people. Oh, they're good. Good. It's a mountain of meatballs. 2 on every sandwich.
These look good.
Don't they? So you'll have to bring in your receipt. Look at this. $93.54 to feed 15 people. It's pretty good. Listen, I've got the quality of all quality chips to go with it. 20 count. I got extra. I got the right amount of stuff. We're gonna have very little waste, and to finish off, because it's a 3-course meal, there'll be a little tiny brownie for everybody. Oh yeah. So what we're gonna do, Sarah, is after we get the sauce warmed up, I want to put the meatballs in there, but listen, they're really fragile. So you can't, you're gonna place them in there and you can't stir it. And then we're gonna top it with Chihuahua cheese, and then we're gonna finish it with Parmesan cheese. So it's got 3 cheeses. Did you hear about the cheeses that are coming out of the Middle East now? They're called cheeses of Nazareth.
I'm just placing those bad boys in there.
Yeah. Any copy?
5.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah, there you
5.
go.
Let's just drop them in there.
Yeah. You can stop counting again?
Yeah, it's good. We're gonna make them all.
No, we're not.
Why wouldn't
not?
you?
You're making 30. No.
There wasn't even 30 there.
Do you remember how many you made? You guys.
You were supposed to count them on the way
You guys
in.
kept talking.
Take them all out.
Uh-huh.
Not me too for real.
No. 3 cheese meatball bombers.
10 minutes. Are we feeling the pressure?
The bum just arrived.
Grab a plate.
Bring it on.
Here's one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Look at that.
It was Harry.
Here you go, Jeffrey.
Thank you very much.
Grab a plate, Chuck. Come on to the production line. That was a good lunch. You know, we had fun. Murph, next week, it's on you. Can you feed 15 guys, 16 guys for $100? And I actually had leftovers for the house. Hey, speaking about leftovers, I got one product that I gotta finish on that Cayman Island Camaro. It's going to a sandy environment, and looking at that Hillborn style fuel injection, that stack fuel injection by Borla, just has screens over the stacks, and I'm like, I don't feel that good about shipping it now. They sell it like that and they offer it like that, but man, I gotta get a good air filter on there, and I gotta make sure it clears the hood. It's gonna be a little challenge because that bad boy is gonna ship in like 2 days. So I gotta get to work. See ya. Peace out. Near. Shazam! Now that's some hillbilly engineering. You guys know that song, right? What do you think? Is this creative or what? Here we are taking a DeWalt drill, the rotary table off of my mill, and a little piece of masking tape. Put it all together. What do you got? You got a welding table just set up perfect. We patented it. If you'd like to buy one, just let us know. We'll ship one over. Okay, you know what I know? Is that beautiful Camaro had to have better air filters on it that we had to rush and make. And when we went to get the air filters that I was looking for, because like the stack air filters like these, dude, you can't run that in a sandy environment. I shouldn't even actually be running that here all that much. Anyways, we had to quickly make adapters because the hood didn't quite clear. So we actually cut those aluminum adapters down and modified it so it could go in the car. It is done, it is perfect. And now the truck will be picking it up and it will be heading to sunny Cayman Islands. Hope it doesn't sink on the way there. It'd be a scuba diver's dream to find that thing. Cayman Island Camaro leaving. That was cool, right? And those filters I had to change out. And Hillbilly Restorations. Yeah, Restoration Revelations is what we're talking about here. And this is the good book. I'm gonna read you something that I heard in church one time. Didn't even like it that much, but I'm just gonna share it with you. Maybe you won't like it too, sinners. Anyways, it's Revelations 3:15. Yep. And Jesus is talking. He goes, I know your deeds, that you're neither hot nor cold. I wish you were one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. Yeah. Ugh. Brother, ugh. He's saying, like, make a choice, dude. Right? Like, you ever have a friend that was like not hot, or you really never knew where they were coming from? It's hard to get close to people like that, right? Jesus, he goes on. He reads even, he gets even better. Right? Still 3, right? Revelations. Those whom I love, I rebuke and discipline. Like, spare the rod, spoil the child. You got to discipline your kids. They need your attention. They need your help, right? So, be earnest and repent. Here I am. I stand at the door and knock. If anybody hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with him, and him with me. Dude, all you got to do is do a little praying, do a little reading. You can have a little restoration, revelation in your life. All right, peace out.